Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for coming back. Sorry I sound like I'm so nasally. I'm just trying to get past this cold. It's killing me, so my apologies for that sound. Today I want to talk about an AVM. Right? AVM, Automated Value Model. We all know what those are. Zestimate, Zillow has one. Everybody's website has an automated valuation of what a home could be worth. Here's the problem I have when it comes to marketing. When somebody fills out a form, or if they get a postcard, or if they get something that says, hey, find out what your home is worth, and they go to that website and they find out what their home is worth, there's two issues I have with that. Number one is, I don't know the quality of that person going to that website, because if they just want to know what their home is worth, it doesn't tell me as a real estate agent that they actually want to sell their home. Right? So if we change the message, which I'll talk about in a second, then you'll get better quality leads. Number two is, if you go to a website that says find out what your home is worth, and let's say that valuation is so far off the mark, you as a real estate agent end up having to do one or two things actually. You're calling them and then you're trying to explain that, hey, that's just a valuation. That's just a digital or an estimate of what that home is worth. It's not truly the valuation of what that home is worth, which makes you kind of look kind of silly, in my opinion. You start fighting up a hill with that person. So if that person actually really wants to sell their home, and they see that their home, they've gone to your website and you've given them a valuation, and that valuation is either really low or, number one, it's really ever way too high. But if it's really low, then you end up calling that person saying, hey, you know, that valuation isn't really what it is. It doesn't take into account any upgrades or location and stuff. And so what happens is that in their mind, they start thinking, well, then why did you even send that out? Why did you even let me get a value? And so it's just a poor sample of really trying to get sellers to raise their hand and identify that they want to sell. So let me go back to the message. If we change the message from find out what your home is worth to instantly see your home's asking price, you're going to do two things. Number one is you're going to get a better response from people that are actually more likely to sell. And number two is you won't have to fight the uphill battle once they actually fill it out. Because most AVMs have the option, or some do, have the option to globally adjust what the value is that that seller is going to see. And so if you adjust it higher based on what your asking price ratio is in your marketplace, you can actually identify that, hey, the asking price is this, it'll actually sell for this. On average, they're selling at 95% of asking price. We'll talk more about that in future videos about how we use that in the domination. But if you can take a message like find out what your home's asking price would be if you were to list it in today's market, and then adjust the valuation to where it'll actually show a true and accurate range of asking price, you'll have a much better response from the sellers. And you'll have a much better response and an opportunity to get in front of those sellers, because then you'll be able to send them your pre-sale package once you have that conversation. If you haven't seen the pre-sale package, jump back on my channel and you'll actually see that whole kit of what we talked about. So again, just to summarize, if we change the message and we actually identify the valuation as a asking price versus a home value, because again, if somebody says, hey, what your home is worth, doesn't mean I want to sell, could just mean that I want to know what my investment's worth. And that's usually what we end up with. We end up chugging through all these people that just want to know what their investment's worth, and then we get tired and we stop calling, and then we stop sending out the postcards, or we stop putting out that marketing piece. Anyway, if you like what you heard, click down below, subscribe. I'll put out more information, and down below are some samples of some really good cards and marketing pieces that we've used that asking price report in. So if you like it, let me know. Smash that like button. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.